If you think Jesus condemned wealth, you missed the point. What he actually condemned was idle capital. In Matthew 25, a master gave 3 servants money before leaving on a journey. One received 5 talents, the other 2 talents, and the other one receives 1. The first two go and invest their money, and they multiplied their capital. The third servant went and buries his talent, and that is the one Jesus called wicked. Not greedy, not rich, but wicked. Why? Reason being the capital was given to move, not to hide. This is what I call the first rule of biblical capital movement blueprint. Capital that doesn't move gets removed. The servant with 1 talent didn't lose money. He preserved it. He returned exactly what he was given. If you look at it from a modern perspective, that sounds responsible. But from a kingdom perspective, it was disobedient. The master says, "You wicked and lazy servant, you should have at least put my money with the bankers." Notice that even minimum movement, even bank level return was accepted, but total inactivity was unacceptable. Jesus wasn't teaching a religious metaphor about using your gift. He was actually revealing a capital law. Money that sits steals decay in opportunity. It may not decay in number, but it decays in potential. And potential loss is a real loss. Think about it economically. Inflation erodes idle cash. Market, on the other hand, reward movement of money. Even business grow through deployment, not storage. Remember even Joseph in the Bible? In the book of Genesis chapter 41, he didn't store grain just to admire it. He stored it for strategic deployment. Preservation was phase 1. He saved 20%. When famine came, he didn't keep the grain locked forever. He released it, traded it, and distributed it strategically. And that phase is called movement phase. This guy who buried his talent skipped the entire phase 2. He chose safety over stewardship. And that is where many modern Christians get it wrong. They think as long as I don't lose money, I'm being wise. But they forget that preservation without multiplication is still stagnation. And stagnation violates the movement blueprint. And this blueprint has 3 stages: preserve, deploy, and multiply. The third servant, the one with 1 talent, he stopped at preserve. Fear froze his capital. He even said it, "I was afraid." And let me tell you something, my friend. Fear is the silent killer of wealth. It may sound spiritual, but it kills wealth. People just say that I want to be careful, but careful can become paralyzed. And paralyzed capital produces nothing. Now, I have to warn you that this doesn't mean reckless risk, not at all. The first 2 servants weren't gamblers, they were competent, which introduces blueprint rule. Allocation follows competence. The master gave them according to their ability, not equally, not fairly, but according to capacity. And then when he did that, he was expecting a return from his money. And that is what I call outcome-based stewardship. And we find that in the end of that parable, the master takes the 1 talent and gives it to the one who has 10. And you might be wondering why. Because capital flows towards proven multipliers. That is not cruelty. That is economic law. Even today, investors allocate more money to those who demonstrate returns. For instance, think of hedge fund managers like Ray Dalio. This guy has a net worth of $20 billion, and investors have entrusted over $95 billion of their money to him because he's a good investor. And the Bible described this thousands of years ago. So what does this mean for you? It means saving alone is not enough. Avoiding loss is not enough. Playing safe is not enough. If your money never moves, never grows, never works, you are not practicing biblical stewardship. You are burying potential. The question is not, am I losing money? The question is my capital moving towards multiplication? Jesus didn't condemn wealth. He condemned wasted opportunity. And that's the foundation of the capital movement blueprint. Money is not meant to sleep. It is meant to serve. If it is buried, it is disobedient. If it is moving, it is multiplying. And in the kingdom economy, movement is obedience. Thank you so much for tuning in. May God bless you. And continue watching these series.